Hello and welcome back to Mark's House and Garden UK. In this video I'm going to share some beautiful garden design ideas from the Western Cape of South Africa. I recently visited friends in South Africa, and whilst I was there I observed many gardens. Whenever I'm out and about I'm constantly observing. On my visit I noted several innovative garden design features which I will share with you here. Now, there is nothing new under the sun, and imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So I will definitely be adopting all of these ideas. I'll be adopting these in some shape or form in my garden at home, every one of them. And that's one of the wonderful things about gardens and gardening. You can see something and make it your own. You can make it fit. Now, clearly, some aspects have to change. For example, I will have to adapt the plants that I choose. Our conditions back home are vastly different. Also, the scale of things. Some schemes would be much too big for the space I've got. But I can bring the idea and adapt it to get the same effect. Now, if you follow my channel, you will see each of these in my garden over the coming months and years. So let's get into it. So the first idea is the idea of having a formal pool overflowing into a rill. Now, a rill is simply a long, narrow body of water. And I'll be doing this in my tiny olive grove project back home. I've always found water enchanting. The way it reflects light and the sound and the mystery of wondering what's under the surface. Moving water feels refreshing and it carries you along with it. It creates a sense of movement. And you can step over it and you can look into it. It can add humidity, and of course, it's great for all kinds of wildlife. I'll be having a rill in my olive grove. I haven't decided yet whether it will be formal or organic. The second design concept is the idea about giving thought to the backdrop. Here are some examples. Now, it doesn't have to be white, although white works well here. What it does is it highlights the plants. To use that well-worn design phrase, it makes them pop. But also, look at these shadows. Aren't they incredible? Now, this is a cute idea. I could easily knock up a few bird boxes. What I like about this is the way they've coloured them differently and perched them on top of poles. Now, back home I would want to consider the direction they're facing and also the amount of direct sunlight, but under the right conditions. These are a lovely idea. I'll think about this for my wildflower meadow. I've got plenty of spare timber, so I would quite easily make a few bird boxes. Many of these are occupied. I can see feathers hanging out of the entrance holes. Here's a fabulous rustic pole pergola, easy to construct because it doesn't need to be too precise. And look at the effect here, a huge green canopy, shade and interest and a haven for bird life. You could use wisteria, laburnum, clematis or Virginia creeper. I'll be building one at home to sit under on a sunny day. Now, how about this as a multifunctional idea? Espaliers of fruit and grapevines, highly productive, sustainable, attractive, and also acting as a barrier or a fence. Now, I'll use this around the perimeter of my olive grove. It creates a barrier. It makes a garden room, but it also allows the eye to peer through. You can achieve a similar effect on a smaller scale with step-over fruit. Which brings me in a way to my next idea, which is strategically placed gaps or holes or circles in fences. These invite you to look through and create a sense of mystery. They can be large or small, defined or organic, and you're left with a sense of curiosity. I wonder what's through there. It maintains interest and it brings you along. You can achieve the same effect with a trellis panel that you can see through. You want to go beyond. Now, I do like these homemade rustic fences. Here they are whitewashed. Others I saw were plain. Now, I have a huge pile of old conifer branches which are quite straight. I can strip the bark off. Guess what I'll be making soon? A fence to surround the perimeter of my Jurassic Jungle Garden project. I like this way of planting. I would call this repeat planting, using the same plant for a whole border. I love the shape and the structure of the plants, and the gravel underneath works perfectly. This can be low maintenance, or you could plant alpines into the cracks, and it gives that arid, dry garden vibe. This is one for my new arid bed. Now here's a quick one. Look at how they've given thought to the stem colour, not the leaf cover, but the stem colour of this succulent right next to this rose. It's a perfect match. Now I've just planted dogwood in my red border next to a photinia. I do hope to achieve half the drama of the effect they've achieved here. Now then, the next idea may polarise opinion. Is this actually gardening? But the more dry, arid gardens I visit, the more addicted I'm becoming to the use of rocks, boulders and gravel as a theme in its own right. Look here, large, hard rocks of various shapes and sizes. It has its own beauty to me, and it can be low maintenance, and there is no doubt that all those little cracks and crevices will provide a unique environment for some wildlife species. Now this is one for both my arid bed and my olive grove. So a complete change of direction here, a green wall. This gives a cascade effect. It covers unsightly brickwork, and it provides a wildlife haven in a city and adds interest. They're quite easy to water because you can water at the top and it trickles down. And I'll create one of these as a backdrop to my fernery garden. And finally now, 2 ideas in one. Here are 2 examples of water spouts coming directly from a wall into a water feature. Again, the sound and sight of water, humidity and light, simple but effective. It can't be that expensive to just buy some pipes and drill a hole through a wall. Certainly compared to the cost of a water statue. Just as effective though, in my opinion. And look at the way they've put the arum lilies directly into the water. Is an arum lily an aquatic plant? I wonder if that would work back home. Now I'm making a small formal fish pond next to my piggery. I'll certainly be adopting this idea. I hope you've enjoyed my exploration of garden design in the Western Cape. And if you want to see how all these ideas play out in my own garden, please do subscribe and hit the notifications bell. And I'll see you soon back home for some more garden design adventures. Bye for now.